If you've made it this far, watch the entire video because this message is for you. The world has forgotten a certain kind of power, the kind that doesn't shout, doesn't explain, and doesn't seek attention. It simply exists, calm, grounded, and untouchable. That power is silence, but not the silence of fear or avoidance. This is the silence that comes from deep self-control. Seneca once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself, and the one who can master his tongue has already conquered the storm within." In today's world, noise is worshipped, opinions are screamed, struggles are shared for validation, and status is flaunted. But we're not here for validation. We're here for virtue. And silence is one of its purest expressions, because when you stop reacting, you begin to see. When you stop speaking just to be heard, you start to truly understand. This isn't weakness. This is the discipline of a warrior. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And sometimes your enemy is your own impulse to respond, to prove, to retaliate. So let them speak. Let them scream. Let them accuse. We don't respond to every noise. We rise above it. Silence isn't weakness. It's control. It's not retreat. It's restraint. In a world where emotion erupts before thought even forms, silence is where clarity sharpens, where perspective lives, and where true power begins. It's the pause that saves you from becoming what you despise. Epictetus once said that when someone wrongs you, the damage is theirs. Why carry it further by reacting? So we don't stay quiet because we're afraid. We stay quiet because we're grounded. We're not here to win battles of ego. We're here to win the war within. Each time you choose to stay calm while the world spins in chaos, each time you hold your dignity when others lose theirs, you're not backing down. You're rising into a version of yourself that noise can't reach, that anger can't break. Silence builds an inner fortress, a kind of strength loud voices can never touch. True power isn't about how loudly you speak. It's about how deeply you can remain unmoved. This is the strength of those who faced loss, betrayal, and pain, yet never let it poison their mind. The strongest ones are often the quietest, not because they have nothing to say, but because they've already mastered the need to say it. Silence is not passivity. It's presence in its purest form. It's the moment you step back from the noise, not to escape it, but to see through it. In the quiet, you begin to notice your own patterns, your emotional triggers, and the subtle difference between reacting and responding. Stillness becomes your mirror, not to hide behind, but to reflect your strength back at you. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the one who craves more who is truly poor." And in silence, that truth comes alive, because silence strips away the noise, the wants, the need to prove, and leaves you with what really matters: self-awareness, self-respect, and self-control. In a world obsessed with being loud, silence becomes rebellion. It becomes armor. When the world turns against you, when insults fly and chaos circles like vultures, you don't win by shouting louder. You win by not handing over your peace, because the moment you speak in anger, you surrender your power. When you lash out, you become a mirror of your enemy. But when you stay still, when your spirit holds steady, you rise above the level they're trying to pull you down to. The power of silence lies in this. It doesn't seek to defeat the other, it seeks to master the self. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that. And in your silence, you deliver that message, not in words, but in posture, in presence, in poise. You are not quiet because you are afraid. You are quiet because you have already seen what chaos costs, and you refuse to pay that price with your peace. In silence, you choose dignity over drama, control over chaos, and purpose over petty reactions. This isn't surrender. It's strategy. And it is in that silence that the strongest version of you begins to take form. Untouchable, unshaken, and unbothered by the noise that once had the power to shake you. You become unshakable when you embrace silence, not as a plea for approval, but as a sanctuary of inner peace. In a world obsessed with validation, where worth is often measured by likes, applause, and approval, the Stoic knows a deeper truth. True peace isn't found in the eyes of others, but in the calm beyond their judgments. In the stillness of your mind, the need to be seen fades away, replaced by a quiet confidence that requires no external applause. Your strength no longer depends on what others think or say, but rises from a wellspring within you. As Epictetus wisely reminded us, it's never what happens to us that defines us, but how we respond. When you choose silence, you shed the burden of trying to prove yourself to anyone. You simply exist, whole and complete. That silence becomes a refuge where your mind finds rest, your heart steadies, and your soul grows strong. This is the truest form of peace, an unshakable certainty that your value is not tied to being seen or validated by the world, but grounded in your own quiet power.